Hello, welcome back. This is my attempt on a digital drawing here. As you can see here, what I did first was I just made a bunch of blobs, and for some reason I could not think on how to draw snowflakes. Like, I've seen snowflakes before, I know what they are, but I could not, for some reason, when I was doing this initial sketch, like, get a snowflake the way I wanted it to. So they look kind of awkward and hilarious, but nonetheless, I persevered. I tried. I really do not like the side profile on this woman. It's driving me insane. Every time I look at it, like, the proportions look right, but her lips look weird. I should have spent more time on fixing them, and I didn't, and it was a problem. And yeah, as you can see here, I'm doing some silly, like, detailed snowflakes that just do not look right at all. And then the program I'm using here for my digital art is called Krita. I've talked about it before in one of my earlier videos. The reason why I like Krita is because it's just really easy to use. There's like no trouble using it at all. And here I'm just doing the shading and trying to figure out what I wanted to do. I really wanted some high contrast in this, and then it just did not end up being very contrasting at all. I should have went with a deeper color. I might try and do some color study type videos here in the future, just because I do see with some of my stuff I kind of fall back on the same stuff over and over again. And so for this I did just do a bunch of like blocking. So for this first one I did like the face, and then I went to I think the hair, and then the hat, and etc. So it's realistically like a very simple piece, but I like how overall it turned out. I'm seeing progress in small ways, so I felt like here recently I've just been like pumping out so much content, and it's making me so happy. But here I am doing the lips, and I just they're too upturned. They just look, the shading I think is what done them in. I shouldn't have used such a strong highlight on them, and I think that's kind of what ruined them. They kind of look old and pruny. They look like two prunes were mushed together, so it's a little strange. But now I know that that's not okay. I really do like her expression. I like the way that the background came out on this. It's just I don't know. I do like how I did the hair. For me, for Krita, the paint bucket tool never does what I want it to, so I always just paint in everything. But for the hair, it's also, I don't know why I haven't done this before, but I just kind of did like quick individual strands, and it came out looking so nice and so clean. So I need to start doing that more, because I was a fan, and so I think I'll try that a little more. It was a little time consuming, but one thing I have noticed with my art is sometimes I want to create so much, so I just rush it because I have this idea in my head and I want to put it down on paper before I forget it. And so I'm just always like rushing. And here recently I've been trying to take my time and slow down, and when I do, I see just a lot more come together and like a lot more things that I do appreciate overall. And so, and over here I'm just finishing the hair. I did like the end of this hair so much. I felt like it gave it like some good body. I wish I would have put like a little bit more strays in the hair. And then just the shading. I feel like I should probably have spent a tiny bit more time on the shading. Again, I wanted a lot of contrast, and that did not happen with this piece at all. I used too many kind of similar colors, none really too deep or too light. And so because of that, that's how they turned out. But again, like overall, I think I spent about 3 hours on this, and the end, I just like how it was. It's nice and simple. It's kind of pretty. It reminds me of the winter. I'm trying to get back into the Christmas spirit here, and I don't know, it just makes me happy. And also, shading white is weird. I was not a fan. I feel like all I've said so far is I like this, but I did not like these. The nice thing with Krita, though, is just like there's so many brush settings that I did get to play around a little bit with them. And so with that, I did also notice, now that I'm looking at this, I've done the same pose, not on 1 or 2, but I think I've done this on 3 different drawings that I've posted on here, where it's the same side pose, looking in the same direction, looking up in the sky. So I'm going to ban myself from doing these types ever again because I've done them way too much. So I need to deviate. I need to try new things and be super cool and awesome and just keep on trucking along. I did like how this hat turned out. I thought the hat was kind of cute. I also don't own a Santa hat, so for this piece I did not use any references. I just kind of put my mind on paper. I haven't used references on anything recently, and I think that's something that I need to get back into. Using references definitely helps you out on a lot of things, and it makes those things that look wonky not look wonky anymore. So I do need to kind of push myself and do more of those. But as far as scheduling goes on videos, I plan on doing 2 videos a week. Every Tuesday should be a digital art piece. Sometimes it'll be something like this, sometimes it might be smaller, bigger. I haven't really narrowed down specifics on it. And then every Friday will be a traditional piece. And so I'm still working on how I want to film those, so those might not have a consistency yet, but we'll get there on those. I'm excited. I think it's going to turn out real nice. And if you guys want, I am on Twitter as well as Instagram. I am on them both quite frequently. Instagram is my favorite because I can just stare at other people's stuff, and oh my god, there's so many creative people on Instagram. But back to the art here, I did want to try and add a little bit more detail, so I did like a light bit of embroidery on the dress. I liked it, but also it annoyed me. I don't know. It doesn't look right to me. It looks like there's something missing to it just to make it pop. So that might be something that I do revisit later. I should have probably added more than just like a trim. I should have added more to the outline, honestly, on this dress, like make it a gold trim instead of just like these little tiny pieces, just to make it more of like a running theme with it. And then let's see, I think after this I did do the background. I didn't want to really do anything too strong. I just wanted to make it look like it was like a strong gusty night, and so I just did kind of a plain blue background, and then I went in and I did use a reference for snowflakes because I did not know how to do a snowflake, and it was a hot mess. But I think that's all I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for watching, and yeah, see you next time.